Okay, so the Taylormade Qi10 range of drivers has just been released for 2024. I think it's fair to say the reaction has been somewhat of a mixed bag. Personally, I like the upgrades that Taylormade have made to this over the Stealth 2. I like the changes, I like the tweaks. I'm a fan of the blue face, I must say, even though blue has never really been my colour, but I personally think I've made the perfect upgrade to this Taylormade Qi10 driver. Let me explain in a little bit more detail. You see, I took the brand new Taylormade Qi10 range of drivers out to Dubai to test this winter for a little bit of warm weather testing, and I quite liked it. I like the feel, I like the sound, I like the looks. The name for me is a little bit of a mystery because although Quest for Inertia 10, yes, the 10K max driver in the family does have 10,000 inertia, the rest of the family don't feature that, so I don't really know where they're trying to get with that, but I sort of see what they're trying to do. So the name's a little bit of a damp squib for me, but what I can't argue with is the feel, the sound, and pretty much the performance of this driver as well. I've not used the Taylormade driver. In the last 12 months, I used the Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond driver. But like I said, I feel like I've given this driver a perfect upgrade for this year. It now has potential to maybe go in my bag. I've got to thank the guys at Golf Clubs for Cash for this because they sent me through a Graphiloy Pro Launch blue shaft in a mystery box that I videoed last week. That was in a Taylormade M1 430 driver. And towards the end of that video, I was hitting that driver really well, better than any driver that I've been hitting recently. So I thought, how good's that? Wow! So I thought, that has to be the same adapter, and luckily enough it is. So by putting this Pro Launch shaft in the new Qi10 LS head, set at 10.5 degrees, which is higher than I would normally have, I feel like it's the perfect match, potentially made in heaven, to hit shots just like that one. If I can hit that lovely high fade down fairways this year, I'm going to be a happy man. The ball's going to be in play, and my scores should hopefully start, well, to trend. And it is funny because I'm not normally one for a driver to look good or to look aesthetically pleasing. If it works, and that's generally okay. But how good does this look with this Pro Launch blue shafting? I feel like it really is a match made in absolute heaven. Whether or not that gives you a little bit more confidence, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I certainly feel like the specs of this driver now are a lot closer to what I could game in 2024. We know we have that back weight and we know we have a nice movable front weight in this LS model, but the shaft's also 1/4 of an inch shorter than standard, and I feel like it's a low spin shaft together with a little bit of loft on the head, but also this head comes out mega low spin anyway. So I should maybe, hopefully, potentially be able to hit drives like this one. Guys, I've had the launch monitor out already testing this driver and shaft combo. Wait till you see what numbers I'm getting and what dispersion I'm getting as well. That's the big thing for me. I feel like the shorter shaft's helping me maybe hit the middle of the face a little bit more. So although club head speed may be down a touch, ball speed might actually be up because we're hitting the center of the face a lot more often. That means spin rate's going to be more optimized. It means the flight window is going to be a lot more consistent and a lot more pleasing. And it means I should hopefully hit more shots like that one. That feels like a carbon copy of the shot that I've just hit, started down the middle, faded to the right hand side of the fairway, and this is where I'm starting to think, could I maybe plot my way around 2024 with a slightly shorter driver with a shaft from 10 years ago? I know technology has moved on, I know shaft technology has potentially moved on as well, but I don't think you can beat a Graphiloy Pro Launch blue shaft. You can get these shafts from Golf Clubs for Cash if you want just a driver shaft to try in a new driver head, and you can also get different adapters as well if you think that you want to try a shaft in different driver heads. That for me is a really good way of testing out which driver you might use in 2024, because yes, fitting is vitally important and I recommend everyone does it, but if you have a personal favourite that you know might do a job for you, there's no harm in trying that, is there? Or I don't think so anyway. And one of the big areas I'm really liking about this Qi10 is the sound. I feel like the sound has been tuned a little bit from the Stealth 2. It has got that carbon face, so it is a little bit more of a thud than maybe a ping or a ting or a zing, if that's what you like. But if you do like a kind of low-pitched driver head, then it can certainly be something that you might want to look at in 2024. I love the look of this on top compared to the Stealth and the Stealth 2. It's a lot cleaner, a lot sleeker, a lot more traditional looking, even though it is fully carboned out. And again, tell me that isn't the same ball flight time after time after time. I feel like I'm making consistent swings, I'm hitting the ball consistently, just out of the toe, which I don't mind. It just brings that spin rate down, and together with a 10.5-degree head, it's sort of a match made in heaven. And having spoken about the sound pretty much in depth, listen to this, because sometimes when I'm mic'd up you can't really tell what the driver sounds like. But when I was filming the numbers section for this video, I wasn't mic'd up, and this is what they sounded like. And that's just a really enjoyable sound. This isn't a very easy driving hole. If you hit it low left, you're going to hit that tree. If you overcut it, you're going to be out of bounds. So you need to be able to kind of keep it straight. And if you can keep it straight with plenty of ball speed, then generally they're the shots that you're going to be hitting time after time after time. I'm sending it down the right hand side of that fairway. Let's get down there and let's see where those balls are finished, because I have a sneaky feeling they're going to be very close together. And if you're looking at front to back dispersion, side to side dispersion, you certainly want something that's going to be nice and close together, because close together means consistency, and consistency means hopefully lower scores. I better pick that white head cover up, because the brands have a thing about white head covers this year and I've got no idea why, because they're certainly not going to stay that way. Let's go and see where they are. So guys, while we walk down here, I'm really interested to know all your opinion on the new range of drivers, the new Taylormade Qi10, Qi10 Max, of course, the new Cobra Dark Speed, the new Callaway AI Smoke paradigm. Which one is the front runner for you? Which one will you be trying? Will you be trying any of them? Are they all a little bit too expensive for you? I've done quite a lot of stuff with the guys at Golf Plus 4 Cash, maybe comparing budget drivers, second-hand used drivers, to this new market that potentially people will be in. I really love to hear your opinions on prices, on what performance you want to see from a £500 driver, and of course what shaft upgrade you might put in if you see something that tickles your fancy like I've done. I think it could be an absolute game changer, I'm not going to lie, it could be fantastic. From front to back dispersion and side to side dispersion, you can see here the balls that we've hit, including the balls that we hit when I was testing for numbers, so very, very consistent. All the ball flights very consistent so far as well. We'll talk numbers in a second, but for now, let's jump on another par 4. Let's see if we can maybe start to hit them a little bit straight and maybe turn over a little bit. Versatility is still really important for me when it comes to my driver. But also, would you retrofit a shaft in maybe your old driver, just to spice things up? You don't want to go and spend big money on a new driver, but a new shaft might make you feel like you've upgraded a little bit. Maybe you're hitting better shots. Maybe it just gives you more consistency or more confidence as a placebo effect. Because if it does, why not? So consistency really is looking like the name of the game when it comes to this test, to this driver, and to, of course, this shaft. But what exactly are you looking for out of your driver? Because personally, I've always wanted to look at around 1900, 2000 spin, 162 ideally ball speed, and something that's carrying around 280 yards-ish. Where my tee's gone? More pockets on today than, yeah. You may think I put more weight on, I haven't, I've just layered up today. But generally what I'm trying to do here is just think a little bit more outside the box when it comes to new products for this year. I think, how can I make them a little bit better? How can I maybe upgrade them a little bit? Going a tiny bit shorter in the shaft isn't something new to me. Maybe it's me growing up, maybe it's me starting to listen to fitters more, because I get the opportunity to spend a lot of time with really good club fitters. Or maybe it's just me thinking, you know what? Driving used to be a really good part of your game. Look at that for a shape, by the way. I was just about to say, we're now into the wind, and I want to see if I can maybe control the ball flight a bit more, keep it down, maybe turn it over a touch. There you go. I used to be a really good driver of the golf ball, and it was an era when I was using this kind of shaft, Grapholoid Blue, Grapholoid Pro Launch Blue. Not quite a 10.5-degree driver, but times change, people get fat, and you just have to roll with the punches. You just have to realise that maybe you're not what you used to be, but if you try to channel something from those days... Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. It has carried the water, but it's certainly not the one. That's the one that I'm fighting, and that's me trying to keep the ball down and turn it over. No driver's perfect, no shaft's perfect. I'm quite glad I hit you that in this video, or you'd probably think it was staged, but we don't do that here. We try and give you proper testing. The numbers are really interesting. We're going to discuss those in a second. Let's try and hit a similar one to that first one. There we go. There we go. This is where I'm starting to think I need to work on my game, but also this could be something that gives me a little push, gives me a little nudge, because who doesn't need a little nudge at this time of year when it comes to working on your golf game? Guys, let's look at the numbers for this club, because I was hitting them just earlier today and I was quite impressed. Not so much that it's much better than the standard Qi10, but consistency wise, very, very, very interesting. So the first port of call I want to talk about with the numbers about this driver and this shaft combination, having hit so many drives with the launch monitor, is the consistency levels I was seeing, both for numbers but also for that front to back dispersion and side to side dispersion. I was hitting the fairway loads of times, and this isn't an easy tee shot to be testing a club for numbers, but I compare it to the numbers of when I first tested the Qi10, and they're pretty much identical. You can see there's very little in it, ball speed the same, spin rate the same, carry distance a yard in it, standard deviations they're going to be the same. But the big thing that helped me was knowing that I feel like I can maybe hit the fairway, and I think it's quite impressive. I'm still getting the same ball speed with a slightly shorter shaft as well, so there's that to bear in mind also. So a couple down in the fairway here, and luckily the bad one lives on. You've got to take those odds, haven't you, because that looked destined for the water. But maybe the driver shaft change is good luck. Who knows? And this gets very interesting because I never hit it in these bunkers up here. That is a long way from where we started, and just shows how potentially this shaft could make a bit of a difference. To me at least anyway. And just to refer back to those numbers that we've tested out here today as well, I actually think this is where maybe the carbon face of the Taylormade can start to come into its own. If you do loft it up a little bit, you get the right low spin head. The carbon already has a kind of low spin effect for me anyway, and of course then you get the right shaft at the right shaft length, so you can hit the middle of that face more often. That's going to mean you're going to get more consistency. You should potentially hit more fairways, which I hope is what I'm finding with this test. I will test this against the Callaway and stuff like that, so stay tuned if you're interested in seeing that. Maybe you're not, maybe you are. Hopefully you are, because I really enjoy testing things like this and thinking a tiny bit outside the box when it comes to shafts and things like that. But for now, let's see if we can hit this final fairway. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you want to see more daily golf videos. And that's one of the best drives I've hit in a very, very, very long time. Apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. Look at that, still going. Bye. That's the most random end to a video ever, but I'm a little bit lost for words with that. So I'm going to continue playing golf in the cold. And if it makes you do that, everyone's a winner.